Hello all and welcome to All Red. It's the community that's all Liverpool all the time. It's All Red. And today we're talking about the key to Liverpool's dominance in this season. And I'm talking about all four competitions that they are still a part of. And I think you could make the case for a lot of players on the team who could kind of take that mantle of like, who is the guy right now? And I think we actually have a couple, which is amazing, which is probably why we're doing so well. But I think there is one player in particular who has been there all season, and his name is Darwin Núñez. That's right, Darwin Núñez. He came from Benfica to the Big Reds, I believe is how it goes. Darwin Núñez, he's the guy. This is probably a polarizing opinion, and it's an opinion, okay? I would love to know why you disagree or why you agree in the comments. Also, please subscribe. We're a brand new channel. It would mean the world to have your support and to have you as part of this community. We're trying to build something massive here for Liverpool fans, the greatest fans in the world. Darwin Núñez, why is he so good, and why is he the key to Liverpool's success this season? Well, let me tell you. Let's go back to that, was it the second game of the Premier League season against Newcastle? We had just drawn with Chelsea, and we go into that Newcastle game, and we don't know what to expect at that point, and we go down to 10 men, and we lose Van Dijk, which was just terrible. And then they score right after that. And I remember watching that game with my two little sons and just being so bummed. I was like, this was supposed to be a great game. And now we're down to 10 men. We're down 1-0. This is going to be a blowout. And for a large part of the game, it was kind of hopeless until Darwin Núñez enters the field. Now, I could be a little biased on Núñez because he's my 8-year-old's favorite player, and I think he's actually my favorite player in the team right now because he's just so fun to watch. He's always smiling, and even when he's having an off game or missing chances, he's still smiling, and he has kind of that menacing little smile. And you just get the sense that he's never mentally off balance. He's always going to just get in there and try again with incredible intensity. But in that Newcastle game, I'm sure you remember it, comes in and does the unthinkable, scores 2 goals to give us the 2-1 win when we're down to 10 men. Other intangibles, I think there's a lot of things Darwin Núñez does that will never show up on the score sheet. Obviously, he scores, he assists. I think he's the only player in the major European leagues right now with double digits goals and assists in all competitions. That's worth something, obviously. And I think there are things he does on the field that you just won't see in the box score. I think we talk about how menacing he is, how chaotic he is, which I think plays into that. He is a chaotic player. You never know what he's going to do. And yet, I think there is a real gravity to Darwin Núñez. And what I mean by that is when he's up top, the defense have to keep an eye on him at all times. And probably multiple defenders have to keep an eye on him. Think about all the 1v1s he's had this year or 1v2s where he's on a last defender or he's through where it's 1v1 with the keeper. He gets into space consistently every game, and the defenders on the opposition squad have to know that and have to keep an eye on him. And I think that's gravity, meaning the defense has to gravitate towards him and keep an eye on him, which makes more space for Lucho or Salah, our wingers, and then I think especially our midfield. You can see when our midfield picks the ball up, in transition from defending to now attacking, there's so much space because Darwin's making a run and the defenders cannot leave him. And he's just getting now better at timing those runs. But that gravity, I think, is huge. It's huge. And you're never going to see that in the box score. But it's there. And even when he's had a couple games where he's missed some really, really big chances and some sitters. But that gravity is always going to be there with him, which I think is why Klopp keeps starting him, even through that big goal drought. Obviously, we saw 2 goals finally against Bournemouth. Excellent goals, excellent finishes. If we can expect that from him, watch out. He is the engine. I think he's the engine for this team. If you think about the things he does on the attack, with the space that he just generates naturally, his ability on the ball, but also his willingness to track back, steal the ball back. We've seen that a couple times. There's been a couple goals. There's been a couple assists that he's had where he loses the ball or the ball spits out. He goes and steals it immediately from the opposition's defense or midfield and gets it right back into play. He even goes back to his own box, his own 18, at times when he deems it necessary to go scream backwards and play defense, which is just incredible for a striker to do that. And he's got the engine to do it. It doesn't tire him out. His movement, incredible. Space that he generates is just world class. I think he's actually got a really high IQ for where to be on the field. He's always thinking about, who's got the ball, where do I need to go to make a run to get in behind. And we're seeing, he's had so many. I think his XG, expected goals, it's got to be one of the highest, not only in Europe, but not only in England, but in Europe. So those things are just incredible intangibles. The finishing, right? That's the elephant in the room. Everybody's talked about Darwin Núñez and how he's missed so many big chances. He has missed so many, but he's generated so many. 10 goals, I think, on the year now. I think that's the current count. He could have had many more. Think about all the balls that he's hit off the bar, off the post. It's kind of incredible, actually. But his finishing, we're starting to see a little bit of improvement there. I've noticed over the past month or so, it seems like he's calmed down a little bit. He's slowed down on the ball a little bit purposefully, and I think Klopp is working through that with him to just calm down. You don't have to go 100 million miles per hour every time you get the ball. Slow down, think about what you're doing, and I think he's going to find that balance where he can play with speed and play with control. He's got 10 or 12 assists on the season, maybe 10. He is a really good passer. He is an excellent passer. I think that's another reason why he is the key to Liverpool's success this year. He is a wonderful passer up front. I think he's had a bunch of assists to Mo Salah. So you look at Mo Salah and you say, yeah, he's our best scorer and maybe our best player. Honestly, I'm not saying Darwin Núñez is our best player by any means, but if you look at Darwin over the course of this entire season, through the Premier League, through the Carabao Cup, Europa, and the FA Cup, Darwin Núñez has been there the whole time. Seems like everybody else has either been suspended through red cards or injured, or at AFCON, or at the Asian Cup of Nations, or whatever that's called. But Darwin's been there. He's been there, and he has been a consistent menace, bringing the chaos every time he steps onto the pitch. So Darwin Núñez, the key. Now, that's, like I said at the beginning, that doesn't mean I don't think other players have been massively important. Look at our whole defense. Alisson, Virgil van Dijk, Konate, Kwanzaa, Trent, now Connor Bradley. I think we have the best defense in England, which is always going to play a huge part in that. Obviously, Salah having an amazing season again. McAllister, Alexis McAllister's been excellent. I think he's even getting better now. He just continues to get better. But my key, if I had to pick one key, it would be Darwin Núñez. He came from Benfica to the Big Reds, and now he's being featured on All Red.